trying to get some subscribers and some views. I have a goal in mind, so thank you for subscribing. Thanks for any comments. And here we go, for Elise. Don't use pedal there. You don't want this sound. All right, you want it to be clear. Now that's where you can use pedal. Most books have the pedal being released about halfway through the measure so that these notes are clear. But you could leave the pedal down longer, all the way to there, but you need a new pedal here and a new one here. Now, some things to keep in mind. When you're playing the left hand here, be extremely soft with your thumb, and then pass the line to the right hand with a soft thumb here too, and let it build a little bit to the target note, like crescendo. You know, make it get louder until you reach that B up there. Left hand's very important. You want to be very soft with the thumb. And when you do this one, be very soft on that top note also. Don't bang those notes out. Sounds terrible that way. So make them light, and then each one of these phrases a kind of a crescendo to the target note. Okay. Another thing, you have a let's see, what do they call this? A antecedent and a consequent. That just means like a question and an answer. You know, like that guy Hans Zimmer.
It's a question. It's an answer.
It's a question, it's an answer. That's the question. And that's the answer. Okay, and that repeats. Get to a little B section here in this key of C major. Okay, now a lot of students make mistakes in this little section, like I just did, and here's the problem. So that's a seventh there, going up 7 notes. Make sure you find the F here, and then the E. So it always goes up a 7th. All right, and a lot of times students will miss that lower note down there. So. Okay, now we reach the part where Beethoven plays a lot of E's, like this. So here's how you do it. Some books have 5, 5, 1. I rather prefer 5, 1, and cross with 2 or something like that. But, you know, as long as you hit the 3 E's and don't miss, because you want to put the pedal down through all of this. Now the right hand plays these 2 E's. The left hand copies with the exact same thing. The right hand continues that up the keyboard. And then left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand 3 times. Now you can count out the rhythm there, but I think, you know, it's actually kind of hard to do, and it's hard to feel that way. I just think of it like this. Left, right, left, 1, 2, 3. But I will say, if you count out the exact rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and, that's how you can learn to actually feel that in 3. But it's kind of a rubato section there anyway, so not too big of a deal. You know, it's not too big of a deal if you don't count it. All right, then we get to the next section. This is with the first diversion away from the theme that starts like this. All right, now it's hard to get all those chords and all those notes, so you want to practice them carefully. And they don't have to be that staccato. Okay, here, and change to your thumb. Okay. So there's lots of problems with this section. Changing fingers helps you do it better. And how does it fit together? See? Think of your hand as this part and this part. You got to be pretty strong here. Hold those fingers in place, and then just go back and forth like a seesaw. Now, when you have a little grace note over a, before a fast figure like this, do it without the grace note. When you understand that, then put the grace note in. But the grace note shouldn't change what happens. That's the melody. The grace note is just an embellishment. Yeah, put your thumb there. So the left hand is kind of hard in there. All right, that's the fingering. Use your 4, then your 3, switch to your 5. So I like to play those as 64th notes and put it all on the last note here, like you're going, But you could do it slower this way. See, 1 and, or this way. All right, now we get to a really fun part. Okay, so fingering is important here. It starts on a 2. Use your 2 again here on D, and then put your thumb under. So practice that part first. Up. Then this part, not too hard. The hardest part is right here at the end. Because you're leaving out your third finger. Your fingers like to go ba-da-ba-da-ba, like this, like you're drumming your fingers on the desk when the teacher's like saying something boring, and you're like, come on, get on with it. But you've got to leave that third finger out. And then you start the pattern again, this time with the thumb, because that's where you ended up. Then, again, you have that little figure, and then here. Now notice these are 30-second notes. So when you get to the next part, make it half as fast, okay? If you're practicing really slowly and going, you've got to cut the time in half there. Okay, the left hand is pretty easy there. Well, not really. You've got to play this chord, that chord, that one, and that one. Practice it slow, of course. practicing with stops. Or hands together with stops. Yeah, okay. Okay? And keeping your fingers really curved helps you play fast. You know, I'm 62 years old, and I recently made this discovery that you just play better with your fingers curved, even kind of hyper-curved a little bit, especially in Bach or fast passages like this. Of course, you can't curve them too much on an octave. Now, you don't have to play it that fast because it doesn't go that fast, but I'm just showing off, I guess. I think there's 5 wiggles up there. So it plays through all the A section and the B section again, and then gets to what we can call the stormy part. Okay, here I like to use the 3-2-1 in the left hand. Practice this without pedal first. Start the first chord with fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a diminished chord. You know, you can say it's a diminished chord, but really, for all you jazz fans out there, it's A, 7th, with a flat 9. So it's not really a diminished chord. It's an A7 chord with a flat 9. A lot of tension there. So this is a nice line here. You know, you play a little softer here and louder, and end it kind of softly. Okay, now, how to bring the melody out? You got to play the top note louder than the rest of the notes in the chord. If you play it like this, it just doesn't sound very good. But if you bring out that top note, now this takes a lot of practice, and however much you think you're bringing out the top note, you're probably not bringing it out enough. If you listen to some recordings of a concert pianist playing a piece like, say, Beethoven's second movement here, they really bring out the melody. It's not just a little bit louder, it's a lot louder than the rest of the notes. Once you can really bring it out, then you want to shape that melody also. But back to what we're doing. Now we'll put the pedal in. Right here, you lift the pedal and push it back down. Same thing here. Now we get some sixths. It's easier to balance the sixths because you just got the top note and the bottom note. So there's 2 ways to do this. My Suzuki piano training taught me to do it this way. Play, take the note, grab it like with your pinky, then bend your thumb here and play real soft, and then do them both together. Right? Okay? But also, Vladimir Horowitz says, you know, keep your pinky stiff, play harder with that one, just be soft with your thumb. You know, kind of think like the weight is over there. And that way kind of works too. So whatever way works best for you. You know, if you're not used to grabbing with your fingers, don't do it that way. And my teacher, masters from Juilliard, not me, my teacher, you know, she's more inclined to do it the Vladimir Horowitz way rather than the grabbing way, which she says introduces tension. We don't like tension. That fingering, but you could do it this way too. We hit the octave, and then switch to 2 and 1 so we can get back on pattern. Octave, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Then we do the same thing again. Now notice how I kind of paused before I went to that unexpected chord change where we go up to the B flat. That's called an agogic accent. And all it means really is just to delay slightly your target note there. It makes it seem like you have great feeling and empathy for the music. Even though myself, I have no feeling for this piece whatsoever. It's just a piece to me. In my veins, it's just ice water. There's no feeling here. All right, now we get to a rather difficult part. I might have to move my camera a little bit. Get the top notes here. All right, and use these fingers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. It's just an A minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. Then come down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. Come down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, come down, but don't use your 2, use your thumb. That way you can cross over and do a chromatic scale. Several fingerings are good, but 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1 works pretty well. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2. See, 3, 1, except when you have the little space here, then it's 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. I think I went too far. Now, the arpeggio. 2 schools of thought on this. 1, pass your thumb under to keep it very connected. So, pass your thumb under. You know, it's a big, you gotta really push it there. Oh, I think I just sprained my thumb doing that. So, that way works pretty well, because this is not that fast. You know, it's just like da, da, da. But, you know, you're going to have the pedal down probably, so, you know, you don't have to really, you know, strain and injure your thumb like I just did. You can leave a little space there. Let the pedal cover it up. Another way to do it, and this is kind of from the Taubman approach, Taubman, I think is how you spell it. And that is a method kind of designed to avoid injuries, and it involves, so I should use it, it involves rotation. You know, like when you go, you do some rotation, not that much, but you know, I'm just demonstrating it. So here, the idea would be left, let's not deal with the middle note because it's kind of complicated. It's like a right, left, I think. And then you do right, and then see your thumb is up like this, and you go to the left and bring it down there. So it's left, middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle, right. So idea is here that it's right, left into the note. Now, of course, it's much smaller than that. It's not all that stuff, you know, but it's just a little bit. So you're coming down there in triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Make sure you shift back into regular eighth notes there. It slows it down by about 33%. Or you can do a slight retard like that. That'll probably work pretty well. Okay, that's for Elise. You want to hear me play it? I didn't think so. I play it pretty well, but why don't you work on it and play it and send me a video? I'd like to hear you play it, and I'd be happy to offer any helpful suggestions if you do that.